Dido Elizabeth Belle was born June 1761 and died July 1805. Was a free black British gentlewoman. She was born into slavery and illegitimate. Her mother, Maria Belle, was an enslaved black woman in the British West Indies. Her father was Sir John Lindsay, a British career naval officer who was stationed there. Her father was knighted and promoted to admiral. Her father, Lindsay, took Dido Belle, with him when he returned to England in 1765, entrusting her upbringing to his uncle, William Murray, the first Earl of Mansfield, and his wife Elizabeth, Countess of Mansfield. And they brought up the free gentlewoman in Kenwood House, together with another great niece, Lady Elizabeth Murray, whose mother had died. Elizabeth and Bella were second cousins. Bella lived there for 30 years. In his will of 1793, Lord Mansfield provided an outright sum and in dowry to her. Whilst living at Kenwood House, which is based in Hampstead, just outside the City of London, with the Earl and Countess of Mansfield and her sister Elizabeth Murray, they also had a portrait painted together, a very rare occurrence for that to occur in such times, for a free black woman to be painted equally with a white woman. I will insert the painting here. Belle lived at Kenwood House for 31 years. Her position was unusual because she was born into slavery according to colonial law. Lord and Lady Mansfield took extended treatment to her and brought her up as a member of the Murray family. As she grew older, she often assisted Lord Mansfield by dictating his letters, which show that she was educated. In later years, in 1784, Lady Mansfield died on the 10th of April after a long illness. Thus, Elizabeth's two aunts, Lady Anne and Lady Majority, took care of the household accounts. In December 1785, Lady Elizabeth, who is in the portrait with Dido Belle, married George Hatton, a rich gentleman aristocrat, heir to the Earl of Winchester and Northampton. Upon his unmarried cousin's death, he was also Lady Mansfield's nephew. Elizabeth, Belle's childhood companion, left Kenwood aged 25 and began her married life between her husband and two vast estates. Dido's father died in 1788 without legitimate heirs, bequeathing £1,000 to be shared to his respected children, John and Elizabeth Lindsay, as noted in his will, and nothing for Dido. Overwhelming sources said that Elizabeth named in his will was his other illegitimate daughter called Elizabeth Palmer, born in 1765, who lived in Scotland. Elizabeth and her half-brother John were known to keep in contact. Dido's legal status with Lord Mansfield was alive is uncertain. In his will of 1783, published in 1793, Lord Mansfield officially confirmed or conferred Bella's freedom, but he didn't reference Dido as his niece, unlike Lady Elizabeth. To secure her future after his death, he bequeathed to her 500 as an outright sum and 100 annual. In 1799, Dido also inherited 100 from Lady Murray, one of the two female relations who had come to live with her and care for the Murrays in later years. After Lord Mansfield died in 1793, Bella married in the 5th of December 1793 at St George's, Hanover Square. Bella's husband was a French servant. He was also baptized at the same time. Dido and her husband had 3 sons, twins Charles and John, both baptized at St George's in 1795, and William baptized in the 26th of January 1892. Bella died 1894, aged 43, and was interred in July of that year at St George's Field, Westminster, a burial ground close to what is now Baywater Road. Okay guys, slight change of tack. I'm going to walk behind these graves now, because by now I would have given you the info on Dido, but the thing is, as I said, because her body was exhumed, and then what happened is, as I said, she came into she was cremated at Lambeth Crematorium, and then her ashes, along with everyone else, were reinterred here. So unfortunately it won't be the case of me finding like absolutely totally X marks the spot, but I do know the section that they were all interred here. So what I'm walking behind the headstones now, because I'm in section 19 and I'm looking for section 21. But unfortunately, a lot of these cemeteries, they're not always very good in coming out to the area and photographing it for you. So it's a case of, I don't know absolutely like pinpoint precise, but of course the key thing you often look for is would be like, for example, here, where it would be quite open, because essentially you're looking for a mass grave, aren't you? And looking at these numbers, I think we are getting quite close. So yeah, so we're back. So I did slightly overwalk it, but oh well, at least it means I'm sort of on the way back as well as looking for it at the same time. God, thank goodness I went this route. Yeah, as you saw, and thank goodness I asked for that advice, because I would have gone up that steep. I did wonder about that name, Steep Hill, or not. Okay, guys. I can't zoom in, unfortunately, at the moment, but that is the crematorium. This is St Mary on the Hills path, and I think, looking at these numbers, this is the right section. So shame there's no bench here. So yeah, just give me a sec. So guys, like I said, I think I'm fairly certain I'm in section 21, and this does look like a pretty big area where you might enter. So as I said, I've done this a couple of times with a couple of relatives of mine that I've actually got, unfortunately, that are in communal graves, unless of course you absolutely know precisely as an actual grave. I think this is it, or if not, she's very close to where I am. So this is for you, Dido. Hopefully, even if only a few people watch this, the key thing I want to represent here is you have not been forgotten to history. You're still known even now. So rest in peace, Dido. Well, I hope you enjoyed that, guys. Yeah. Yeah, as you may have noticed, yeah, finally starting to get warm now. But that's the joys when you have to come to London like really early in the morning and it's still a bit coolish, but it's not now. So there you are, guys, from me, from Dido, and one more of the magnificent 7 cemeteries, because that is now 2 of them that I've visited. So from me, Sharona, from Rediscover Locations, thank you very much. And from West Norwood Cemetery, bye bye.